This video is a hot mess and I am so sorry. My voice is all over the place, like I can't seem to figure out what tone I'm speaking in. I don't put on mascara, which I did after, and I barely finish any of my sentences. The bloopers are at the very end, so you are more than welcome to click ahead and just watch that if you want like 45 seconds of entertainment rather than 10 minutes of rambling. Good morning. My voice is kind of off today because I had a bottle and a half of wine, maybe more, with a friend last night. Morning routine is starting a little later than normal, but I wanted to share with everybody what I do to my skin. Normally it is a little bit better than this. I have some current breakouts, but that is because of the Christmas season and I ate my weight in chocolate. Over the years, I've had quite a lot of acne and issues with my skin, and actually this is pretty good. Like, I don't really care about these little pieces because I know that it's just from what I'm eating, it's sugar, and I can cut that back. But my tone of everything else, like if I cover this up, I look pretty cute. I suffered from acne for at least 13 years. And it became cystic, it became really awful, and I don't have many photos of this because I did not want to take photos. And when I did take them, I edited the hell out of them. But that has been my skin for the last while, except for the last year. 2019 really was a better year for me for skin. So if you're interested in any of these tips on how I fixed my skin, not fixed, that's a stretch, but how I bettered my skin, stay right here and let's get into the video. So the very first thing I did is gonna sound a little odd, but I cried. And I cried a lot. People said some pretty stupidly rude things to me over the past years. And it's not just the last 2019, but it's definitely been more than I would have preferred. I've had people ask me straight up, what's wrong with your face? I had another client tell me, you know, you'd be a really pretty girl if you just took care of your skin. I also have had people tell me that I must need their skin products because obviously I'm gonna be insecure, and how could I not be insecure with a face like that? I had to cry a lot. The second thing I did was figure out my own skincare routine. I've now settled into a few of my favorites for skincare, and I have been using them for at least a few months consistently, but some of them for over a year. But a few of my my two biggest favorites right now have been the Eminence Acne Advanced Cleansing Foam and the Origins Soothing Treatment Lotion. The first two were more external pieces for advice. The next two or three are actually more internal. So number 3 is self-talk. I started speaking to myself the way I'd speak to my friends. And I started shutting up the voice in my head that was always constantly yelling at me, telling me I wasn't pretty enough, I wasn't good enough, and that I needed to be different in order to feel confident because I wasn't allowed to feel confident otherwise. Changing the way I spoke to myself changed the way I looked in my outward appearance. So self-talk was number 3. The fourth thing I did to change my skin was to create a vision board. I actually just used Pinterest for this because I felt for me that worked. I have a Pinterest board called Look at My Face. I pinned it to my board and I would go through it all the time. Skim it and look at how much beautiful skin is out there. Which kind of ties into point number 5, the whole gratitude thing. Because I was looking at my vision board, I also made sure I was looking at it and being very grateful for the fact that skin that I wanted existed. I can get it. It was just a matter of figuring out how. I started being grateful for the fact that my skin, although it wasn't ideal, it wasn't painful. And although it was a bit more difficult to manage, at least I live in a part of the world where I can learn to manage it. It's such a tiny little thing at the end of the day. People are dying and here I am upset because I don't look pretty enough that day. I do find that since I'm more grateful, my skin has been better. Thank you for my face. Thank you that I live in a part of the world where I can consistently educate myself, that I can improve my skin, I can improve my outward appearance, and it can become exactly what I want it to be. I am beautiful. My skin is clear, my skin is flawless. I look exactly like I want to look. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So the first 2 were external, the last 3 were internal, and now these final 3 are more on my perspective and education. When it comes to perspective, stress I realized was a huge trigger for my acne. So learning how to de-stress or learning how to change perspective and realize, is this really worth a breakout, became my #1 focus. If you're struggling with this and you find that you're stressed a lot and you also have acne and breakouts, find ways that you can stop stressing or just deal with it in another form. Because holding on to it is really going to just be detrimental in the long run for you. #7 was understanding that my body was just trying to communicate with me from a cellular level. Basically, something was wrong. And I didn't want to admit that because I was like, I'm just normal. I don't want to be special skin, special cells, special allergies, whatever. Removing inflammatory foods was a big part of the education. I realized that dairy and eggs were both an issue for my skin. And so I removed, not entirely, but I limited them drastically. I think that makes a big difference. Part of why my skin is breaking out again now is because I do eat dairy and eggs when I'm on vacation, and we just got back from our Christmas holidays. Looking to respect my body from a cellular level, feeding it what it actually needs and wants, not what I want, made a big difference. Part of the education came in from my last tip I had for you, which was acupuncture and naturopath. That gave me such an insight into what my body was actually needing and allowed me to kind of start taking control in my own hands. I did a saliva test for gut inflammation, and that's where I found out that the eggs and dairy were like off the charts and I should not be part of them or should not have them in my diet whatsoever. The acupuncturist I go to is someone I work with, and she is a traditional Chinese medicine doctor. So she told me that I had a lot of heat in my body. So when I went to her for the second time, we did a treatment specifically to release some of the heat. And I actually think that was a big difference. Like, I've noticed an actual change in the quality of my skin, how easily I break out. I've had my period and not broken out. So I'm gonna rebook and keep on going to her because I think that it makes sense to me. If this is all inflammation, then there's something causing inflammation in my body. And it could, if it's from a cellular level, then I have a lot of heat in my body. So things push up. It's like a volcano, and then I get them on my face. I'm gonna keep on going down that avenue and see if I can completely cure my face forever and all. So I highly recommend that if you haven't already, talk to an acupuncturist or a naturopath. I picked a bit of a bad day to do this video because normally my skin does look a lot better. There are 8 of the things I've done to improve my skin. I've also done some lasering and I've done different facials and stuff like that, but I think I'm gonna give more of that, give more focus towards that this summer. Well, thank you so much for watching, you guys. If you liked today's video, please give that thumbs up button a click and also subscribe. My name is Sarah, and this has been my 8 tips on improving your skin. So anyway, I'm droning on. Wow, this is the most boring video ever. Get to the point, Sarah, holy moly. So the first 2 that I just shared with you are more external, and the next 3 will be more external. What did I say? Or not always looking at Pinterest, but I'm on there. Wow, I don't know where this video is going. This is gonna be the hardest thing to edit because I have done nothing but ramble for nearly 20 minutes because holding on to it, wow, what did my voice just do? And, stop saying and. This is a train wreck.